Hey everyone, Patrick Durkin here with the Durkin Group at Keller Williams Realty, Las Vegas. Time again for Quick Tip Tuesdays in the month of June. And I invited Bob Barker on here. He did not accept our invite for the Price is Right edition of Quick Tip Tuesdays. Am I the only one that used to watch him when I was homesick from school? Because that's the only time I watched the Price is Right. But you guessed it, we're talking about pricing, primarily because of the feedback that we've got from last month's video on the 4 biggest reasons why homes don't sell. We got a lot of questions, a lot of positive feedback, wanted to touch more on price, which I actually encourage you viewing. If you have feedback on these videos, questions, please feel free to email us. We'd love to hear it. So if you didn't catch May's edition of Quick Tip Tuesdays, please do. Email us. You could also check out our business page, the Durkin Group LV, on Facebook, also on Instagram, Durkin Group LV handle. We talked about the 4 biggest reasons why homes don't sell. On average, over 500 homes don't sell monthly here in Las Vegas, and because that's one of our specialties, taking over listings that don't successfully sell the first time around, we formulated the 4 big reasons why they don't. One of them being price. So I'm here to talk a little bit about the new pricing model versus the old pricing model, and that's primarily driven by one big thing: buyer behavior 20 years ago compared to 2019. So I want you to dream with me for a second. Close your eyes. You're in a time machine. We're going to go 20 years back. It's 1999. Open your eyes. I'm in junior high school. I know made a lot of you feel really old just now, so sorry, not sorry. But so my folks have obviously been doing this much longer than I have, and the way that you took a buyer out to see homes as a realtor 20 years ago looked like, I'm a buyer, picked up the phone, hey Patrick, I want to move to Henderson or Summerlin, I want to downsize, upsize. Perfect. Let's get together. Let's talk about your price range. Let's talk about, are you financing? Have you talked to a lender yet? Are you paying cash? Do you have your proof of funds? Where do you want to be? What's important to you? Parks, community, features, this, that, and the other. Once we learn all that, your realtor used to keep a good eye on what's going on in the market. Once a property hit the market live that was new, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, 123 Main Street just came live on the market for sale. Let's get in the car and go look at it. Perfect. That's what I like to call the blind dating of real estate 20 years ago. There was no hundreds of home search websites and online presence of homes where you can look at all the pictures first. So you showed up in person and you either hated it or loved it. It was a blind date, right? So, and that's what happened. I either, hey, this is not my style, don't ever show me this again, or Patrick, I love it, I want to write an offer. What are they asking for? Okay, your trusted realtor knows the fair market value, looked at it before they showed you the home, what is sold in the neighborhood, the price, fair market value is X. If it was overpriced 20 years ago, people, had more time. They already went out to the home to look at it, so they're somewhat committed. There's a little bit of skin in the game because they went to go look at it, because they had to. And so if it was a little overpriced, maybe, okay, it's a little bit out of our budget, more than we want to spend, but let's write them an offer. Let's see what they say. We'll negotiate. I'm going to halt right there because that's where the behavior changed, and that's where the pricing strategy needs to change. So fast forward 2019, you probably wake up and, Alexa, show me the new listings for today. All joking aside, that's reality. Hundreds of home search websites. Major thing that's changed is access to information. Buyers have a whole lot more access to information now than they ever did. Statistics show that buyers actually start looking for homes 6 to 12 months before they're even ready to make a purchase and pull the trigger. Even call their realtor and say, hey, I'm ready, I'm pre-qualified, or I have my proof of funds ready. What does that mean? It means the same thing that we do when we buy a coffee maker on Amazon. What do? We look online, we look at the reviews, we do our research, which one does this feature in the best way possible, and I'm going to go look at the reviews and look at, people said this one is horrible, everyone raves about this one, look at the ratings, do the best. After that, we're going to price shop, see who has the best price, and then we're pulling the trigger, we're buying the coffee maker. And that's a lot similar to real estate. I mean, to interject some humor here, we have the dating app of real estate now. We have Tinder. We have swipe left and right for homes that I hate this one, I love that one, right? We have WebMD of real estate. I want a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home on a corner acre, a half-acre lot and a corner lot, a pool, 3 bedrooms, and you can find that. It's much more easier to find, which we actually love because, for one, we don't have to go driving all over town, but I think it's great. But the big thing that has to change, by being that the buyer behavior has changed, is pricing strategy. So a few things happen with the start high price strategy. One thing that happens today in today's market is when you start high, when sellers start high, they become their neighbor's best friends. Well, what I mean by that is you got to figure buyers, and when they're looking and they're serious and they're ready and they're working with their agent, they're looking at a specific area, a specific price point, and they know what's on the market already. And so when a new listing hits, that is the most crucial time to have professional HD photos. It's the most crucial time to be telling the proper story of the home and the listing, all the things that we mentioned in our last video on how to overcome the reasons why homes don't sell. So a new home hits the market. If a home's overpriced, you're going to successfully sell all the other neighbors' homes because you're the most expensive one on the market in your neighborhood, and all the others are offering better values, and buyers know about it. So you start to watch your neighbor's home go under contract, and you see that sign rider pop up on the for sale sign, pending, sold, and that's what happens. Another thing that happens is it used to be said that the first 30 days on the market was the most crucial time to know what the market is doing. How does the market react to our home? What is the negative feedback from the showings? What are the positive feedback? What do people like? I would venture to say, based off the listings that I took recently this year that failed to sell, it's not 30 days. I would venture to say it's more like 5 to 7 days where that's the most crucial time for your listing. Whether or not it sells in the first 5 or 7 days, or even get an offer within the first 5 or 7 days, it's still the most crucial time. And it cannot have iPhone photos of the front of the house waiting for the HD photos to come because buyers are going to look at that online and they're going to say 123 Main Street, I can't even see that thing. I can't even look. And they remember it. And they remember, hey, 123 Main Street, that's out of sight, out of mind. I can't see the pictures, so I'm not looking at it. And listings start to become stale. And they start to have price reductions after price reduction after price reduction. So I'm going to show you a little bit of a testimony on a listing that I took last week. And you'll have to forgive me for the old school way of my visual aid. I tried to do this in a very tech-savvy way, but it didn't work. And you'll have to excuse my chicken scratch also. But I'm going to point out this listing with a check mark here. This listing is 1337 Wheatland Way. We took this listing last Wednesday, and within 48 hours we had over 10 showings, and we had one offer in 24 hours. And this home is for sale for $230,000. It's off of Vegas Drive in Tenaya. And you might say, well, Patrick, $230,000 house in Las Vegas right now, it's a hot commodity. Of course you're going to have a lot of activity on that. And I agree, 100%. That's a popular price point. However, I also made some marks here. All the homes in green are active competition, homes that are still active for sale. Some of them, actually most of them, are actually listed for less than Wheatland. You'll see on the notes here, the red is the price and the blue ink is days on market. So there are homes that are competing with our listing that are even priced lower that have been on the market for, 27 days, almost a year up here. So my point is, it is more crucial now more than ever to be priced exactly right while the buyers are out looking. A good example of some of the strategies that we overcome this, I can't give you the full scoop because that's part of the Durkin Group secret sauce playbook. You don't get to learn that until you hire us to list and successfully sell your home. But a big popular item nowadays is buyer incentives, especially at a price point like this. A lower price point for most of the average. The average is more closer to $300,000 for a price point here. So lower than that, buyers need help with costs. So for this one, we did a little bit of a buyer incentive to where we offered a little bit towards the buyer's cost, but that only applies for offers that come at list price. And so it's thinking of ways like that, creative ways outside the box, that attract and draw buyers, and we need to tell the right story of the house. We need to describe it properly, because you got to figure everyone that's on the home search websites, they're going through their filters and they're saying, I want a 3-bedroom house, 2-bath, I want a single story, I want it in this area. And if you're not telling the proper story, they're never going to find it. And so that's why the other listings that we see on this here are stale, and they're staying on the market more than 30, 40, 60 a year on the market, and they're even priced lower. So it's not always to do with price, but pricing strategy matters now more than ever, because buyer behavior has changed drastically. So I'm way over on our Quick Tip Tuesday time here. So I really hope this has been helpful to you. If you have questions, feedback, we always appreciate that. Send us an email, shoot us a message, call us. We'd love to talk with you. And until next time in July, stay cool out there. We'll see you next time. Thanks.